What is up, everybody? We're on day 191 of our Bible in a Year series, continuing on in Proverbs today, the book of wisdom. It is a good one, and we're going to keep pressing forward in it. Proverbs 16 is where we're starting off today. And there we go. The reflections of the heart belong to mankind, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All a person's ways seem right to him, but the Lord weighs motives. Commit your activities to the Lord, and your plans will be established. The Lord has prepared everything for his purpose, even the wicked for the day of disaster. Everyone with a proud heart is detestable to the Lord. Be assured, he will not go unpunished. Iniquity is atoned for by loyalty and faithfulness, and one turns from evil by the fear of the Lord. When a person's ways please the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better a little with righteousness than great income with injustice. A person's heart plans his way, but the Lord determines his steps. God's verdict is on the lips of a king. His mouth should not give an unfair judgment. Honest balances and scales are the Lord's. All the weights in the bag are his concern. Wicked behavior is detestable to kings, since a throne is established through righteousness. Righteous lips are a king's delight, and he loves one who speaks honestly. A king's fury is a messenger of death, but a wise person appeases it. When a king's face lights up, there is life. His favor is like a cloud with spring rain. Get wisdom, how much better it is than gold, and get understanding. It is preferable to silver. The highway of the upright avoids evil. The one who guards his way protects his life. Now, real quickly, on verse 6 here, remember, Solomon's the one writing this. And Solomon is the one who, when God told him he could have anything, he chose to have wisdom. Now, you may be hearing a storm in the background. Hopefully not. But you may. It's thundering pretty loud. It doesn't look like my mic's picking it up, but maybe it is. So, if you hear that, that's what it is. But, yes, Solomon's the one who wanted wisdom over riches and all this other things he could have asked for. Anything he could have asked for, he chose wisdom. Verse 17. The highway of the upright avoids evil. The one who guards his way protects his life. Pride comes before destruction, and an arrogant spirit before a fall. Better to be lowly of spirit with the humble than to divide plunder with the proud. The one who understands a matter finds success, and the one who trusts in the Lord will be happy. Anyone with a wise heart is called discerning, and pleasant speech increases learning. Insight is a fountain of life for its possessor, but the discipline of fools is folly. The heart of a wise person instructs his mouth. It adds learning to his speech. Pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the taste, and health to the body. But there is a way that seems right to a person, but its end is the way to death. A worker's appetite works for him, because his hunger urges him on. A worthless person digs up evil, and his speech is like a scorching fire. A contrary person spreads conflict, and gossip separates close friends. A violent person lures his neighbor, leading him on a path that is not good. The one who narrows his eyes is planning deceptions. The one who compresses his lips brings about evil. Gray hair is a glorious crown. It is found in the ways of righteousness. Patience is better than power, and controlling one's emotions than capturing a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. Chapter 17. Better a dry crust with peace than a house full of feasting with strife. A prudent servant will rule over a disgraceful son and share an inheritance among brothers. A crucible for silver and a smelter for gold, and the Lord is the tester of hearts. A wicked person listens to malicious talk. A liar pays attention to a destructive tongue. The one who mocks the poor insults his maker, and one who rejoices over calamity will not go unpunished. Grandchildren are the crown of the elderly, and the pride of children in their fathers. Eloquent words are not appropriate on a fool's lips. How much worse are lies for a ruler? A bribe seems like a magic stone to its owner. Wherever he turns, he succeeds. Whoever conceals an offense promotes love, but whoever gossips about it separates friends. A rebuke cuts into a perceptive person more than 100 lashes into a fool. An evil person desires only rebellion. A cruel messenger will be sent against him. Better for a person to meet a bear robbed. Oh, jumped ahead. Better for a person to meet a bear robbed of her cubs than a fool in his foolishness. If anyone returns evil for good, evil will never depart from his house. To start a conflict is to release a flood, stop the dispute before it breaks out. Acquitting the guilty and condemning the just, both are detestable to the Lord. Why does a fool have money in his hand with no intention of buying wisdom? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a difficult time. One without sense enters an agreement and puts up security for his friend. One who loves to offend loves strife. One who builds a high threshold invites injury. One with a twisted mind will not succeed, and one with deceitful speech will fall into ruin. A man fathers a fool to his own sorrow. The father of a fool has no joy. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. A wicked person secretly takes a bribe to subvert the course of justice. Wisdom is the focus of the perceptive, but a fool's eyes roam to the ends of the earth. A foolish son is grief to his father and bitterness to one who bore him. It is certainly not good to fine an innocent person or beat a noble for his honesty. The one who has knowledge restrains his words, and the one who keeps a cool head is a person of understanding. Even a fool is considered wise when he keeps silent, discerning when he seals his lips. So the phrase, what is it? I think it's by Mark Twain. Better to keep your mouth shut and be perceived a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt. It's biblical. I'll throw this out there. It's kind of comical. Also, this kind of ties in. I know this is slightly political, but I'm not gonna. It's more lighthearted than anything else. Certain Supreme Court justices recently, you can go find the numbers. The day I'm recording this it's in July of 2025, and over the course of the last year, there's a certain Supreme Court justice who has spoken, I think like 28,000 words or something like that over the course of the last year, and another Supreme Court justice who is very very wise and in my opinion one of the best to ever be a Supreme Court justice, has spoken something like 2,000. Like it's significantly lowered. But that's as far as we'll go with politics on this. I don't I don't shy away from politics, but that's not the purpose of this video. So, chapter 18. One who isolates himself pursues selfish desires. He rebels against all sound wisdom. A fool does not delight in understanding, but only wants to show off his opinions. When a wicked person comes, contempt also comes, and along with dishonor, derision. The words of a person's mouth are deep waters, a flowing river, a fountain of wisdom. It is not good to show partiality to the guilty, denying an innocent person justice. A fool's lips lead to strife, and his mouth provokes a beating. A fool's mouth is his devastation, and his lips are a trap for his life. A gossip's words are like choice food that goes down to one's innermost being. The one who is lazy in his work is brother to a vandal. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are protected. The wealth of the rich is his fortified city. In his imagination, it is like a high wall. Before his downfall, a person's heart is proud, but humility comes before honor. The one who gives an answer before he listens, this is a foolishness. This is foolishness and disgrace for him. A person's spirit can endure sickness, but who can survive a broken spirit? The mind of the discerning acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks it. A person's gift opens doors for him and brings him before the great. The first to state his case seems right, until another comes and cross-examines him. Casting the lot ends quarrels and separates powerful opponents. An offended brother is harder to reach than a fortified city, and quarrels are like the bars of a fortress. This is why you'll see later on in the New Testament, it's I'm blanking really bad right now. Jesus talks about how if you're at the temple and you're going to give a sacrifice, but you realize that your brother has something against you, go and reconcile that first. Like, leave what you have there, go and reconcile that, then come back and make the sacrifice. That shows a very significant level of importance to this. Verse 20. From the fruit of a person's mouth, his stomach is satisfied. He is filled with the product of his lips. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. The poor person pleads, but the rich one answers roughly. One with many friends may be harmed, but there is a friend who stays closer than a brother. And that is it for our reading. We still got questions, and I am trying to hurry a little bit through this just because I don't want to lose power. And yeah. So question 1. Proverbs 16:9 says, "The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." How should this truth affect the way we make plans and respond when life doesn't go as expected? I've seen people to take this to mean that you shouldn't plan things or don't need to have plans. I don't think that is. I think that's going too far. Basically saying you can make plans, but God is ultimately in control. Submit those plans to God. Right? You want to be walking the path that God wants you to walk, but also know that if you're submitting that to God, God has the right and authority to change those plans at any minute and not give you any notice beforehand either. So I think, me personally, that's something that's hard for me, is when something happens that I don't have a plan for, I'm not planning ahead for. It's very, very difficult for me to handle sometimes. But I've gotten a lot better at it, and that's part of just knowing God is God is sovereign in all things. He's working. We see in Romans, working all things together for good. He is in control, even when it seems like everything is out of control. God is still in control. Question 2. Proverbs 18:21 declares that death and life are in the power of the tongue. How can we become more aware of the spiritual weight of our words carry in relationships, both positively and negatively? This can be spiritual, but I also think it can be practical. So, I've talked before, people, I think, take this out of context, saying that if you, like, whatever you say is going to happen is going to happen, very much a new age type idea. But that's not what it's getting at here. I do think it can be spiritual, but I also think it can be practical, and I think it's bad to only read this as a spiritual thing. Looking at the example I talked about yesterday, the day before, this idea that you can, how you talk and stuff at work can end up leading to you not having a job, right? It can lead to you losing your income, losing your house, ability to have food, like all this stuff. So a very practical sense that can happen too, but also just like words that you say can stick with people and can kind of form not true identities in people's heads. I know there's things that were said to me like when I was like little that stuck with me for decades. And it wasn't even like someone intentionally trying to be mean or malicious or anything like that. Just offhanded comment um, from people. One in particular I can think of is an offhanded comment from somebody, and it affected me for decades. It stuck with me for decades. It kind of affected how I saw myself and things like that. But things like that can have a much bigger impact than what you realize. So, question 3. Throughout these chapters, we're reminded of the value of humility and teachability. What keeps us from receiving correction well, and how can we grow in becoming people who welcome wisdom? Humility is probably, I think, the biggest thing in receiving correction well. Being humble, understanding that you're not perfect, you don't always do it right, you don't always get everything right, and being able to receive correction from people. Having people in your life you trust well enough to let them hurt your feelings and not just completely discarding everything they say. Um, but you also want to, I mean, you got to balance that. Don't take everything to heart either. But humility, I think, is the biggest thing. Work on humility, ask for more humility, be a humble person, and you'll go far with that. But that is it for Proverbs. All right, for Proverbs for today. We'll be back in it tomorrow. It's going to be good. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as all those things help the channel grow. If this has been a blessing to you, you can share it with somebody else. It can be a blessing to them, and word of mouth is the best way that podcasts grow as well. So that can be something that helps this channel as well. Come back every single day. We're going to have more content every single day. Bible reading plan. We're going through the Bible an entire year, different teachings, all kinds of just really great biblical sound stuff like that. So you're not going to want to miss it. Come back, subscribe. Thanks. God bless.